And good evening, Gator fans. Unfortunately, we didn't have a pre post on Saturday. Uh, things happen in life and whatnot, but nothing too crazy. But on the bright side, though, we did have a very convincing win. Well, I say convincing. I know that our host here, Kelsey, has lots to say when it comes to the quarterback spot, but real quickly because I feel like that game ended for us on Saturday and we are already moving forward. I would say that the mood on social media is half and half.
Yeah.
Gator Nation is excited for the opportunity once again to host a big time game at the Swamp. I think it's something that in a couple of years has not been done. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
I don't think my French agrees with me. Um, Again, let's just recap the game real quick, Kelsey. To me, it was a game from beginning to end. The defense was there, showed their potential once again up front. Unfortunately, though, in the second half, it just felt like we took our
Yeah.
we took our foot off the pedal. New quarterback, I guess, right? I guess USF has those dual guys, which they name a starter. If the starter's not playing well, at halftime they're gonna switch him out for the other guy.
Yeah. Hmm.
A couple plays I felt like maybe we could have made better, but again, I'm not gonna harp too much on the defense. Now, when you flip
Hmm.
over to the offense, I thought the first drive was just absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, honestly, to go three and
Yeah.
out. It's
And then
not.
in my mind, I'm thinking, well, is it going to be a long day? Is this the way that the offense is not gonna start
Yeah.
off with, knowing that they have Alabama next week? Eventually, though, I think it was and what up, Alex? Thank you so much for joining us. I think it was 4 or 5 straight possessions where it
Yeah.
just
It was.
yeah, it was nice to see first down after first
Yeah.
down. Emery hooking up. I mean, AR-15 just doing AR-15
Yeah.
things, man.
Hmm.
Hope coming up big with catches on the sidelines and just scoring touchdowns. And yet, then we get to the third quarter, and I believe it was our first possession after I think USF they took it down the field for a field goal.
Yes. And that
And
was 35-6.
we have a nice drive going. We get to midfield, and then the shenanigans happens with Emory Jones again.
Yep.
Not looking off his receiver, just staring him down. Back to back possessions of just picks. I mean,
Hmm.
honestly, at some point, I think you actually showed me this tweet earlier. There's a tweet by Gator Bull that
Yeah.
has that tweet meme of the guy with the girlfriend, but the girl that passes by. It's like the guy is just Dan Mullen, right? And he's just
Yeah.
he's like amazed by the way of that the other girl how she's looking, and the other girl's Emory
Hmm.
Jones, and his girlfriend is AR-15. Like, hello, can I get more attention?
Yeah. It was something. Yeah, with interceptions and then AR with 10+ yard plays.
Yeah, and I think at some point Dan can listen. Dan's no dummy to these things, man. He knows what the Gator Nation wants and what is expected. But
Hmm.
what's taking so long for Dan to at least acknowledge the fact that there is no starting quarterback? If you don't want to name
Hmm.
AR-15, I understand that. There's plenty of
Yeah.
things that he can learn. But at some point, you just got to say, hey, you got to unleash it, man, because Emory Jones just keeps committing these small mistakes that a true freshman should be making.
Yeah. Like that interception. I don't remember if it was the first or second. I think it might have been the second one. He threw into like quadruple coverage.
Yeah, it was
It was
the
like,
second one, correct. Well, he actually kept the play alive, which is great. He kept
yeah.
the play alive, but then he throws it off balance on his non-throwing side. The ball sails.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the broadcasters even said it best. You're throwing across your body on the short side of the field. You
Yeah.
know, those defensive players that have been sitting in zone for 5-10 seconds, they're looking at you right now because they know there's only one
Yeah. They
guy.
can read his eyes. Yeah. I mean,
And
he shows
so
that too on a lot of plays. Like he knows what, like we were saying, he predetermines his passes. So he'll read right away where he wants to throw it, even if it's recovered. Like that's the play and that's it. Like he doesn't adjust.
yeah, and then listen, I
So,
understand. Put Emory Jones out there, right? Put Emory Jones out there afterwards to try to get his confidence
hmm.
going. And then AR-15 has an amazing drive, an amazing throw. I think it was Cope that caught it inside the 10.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, was it that AR-15's helmet came off and that he couldn't get back in the huddle or
I don't
something?
know.
Right?
I didn't understand. Yeah. I didn't understand why that was when he didn't finish the drive, right?
Yeah. So then
I
Emory
think it was.
Jones
Yeah.
comes in and just doesn't complete the drive, right? And then it's just those things like might as well give AR-15 the opportunity of finishing it.
Yeah.
But again, I try to put myself in Dan Mullison's shoes. I put on his headset. Again, I'm not a coach. You're not a
Yeah.
coach.
We
We
are
don't
coaches,
know. We
but
don't
still,
know.
it's just,
Yeah, we don't know exactly the whole. What is he trying to say? What is he trying to show? What is he
hmm
trying? Again, it's if we try to think about it too much, I think our heads could possibly explode.
yeah, I could talk about it all day,
We
but
talk about it all day. But then Anthony Richardson goes out there, scores an amazing run touchdown,
hmm
and then the slight injury happens, right?
yeah.
And now I'm
And I
thinking like,
saw,
mhm.
not to interrupt you, I saw a tweet, I don't know, it was yesterday or today. Someone was saying, I mean, that his hamstrings tightened, and someone was like, oh, it's probably because he goes in and out. It's not like he's playing, like he goes in for like two crazy plays and he comes out. Probably the
So
constant going in
yes,
and out.
so
Yeah.
so funny that you mentioned that. I actually spoke to a therapist who's a Gator fan, and she,
hmm
a physical therapist, by the way. She actually
hmm
told me that when you force your body to go in and out, basically you give it off for 15 seconds and then pause, rest for 10 minutes, go back at it again for 15. There
hmm
is possibility of that happening, but you think that the staff on the Gator sideline, especially when it comes to the medical field, they
hmm
would tell Dan that, or at least to get him to understand, hey, listen,
I
when
don't
Anthony Richardson
know.
touches the football and is on the field, he's not just giving you 3 seconds and drop back. He's giving you 3 seconds, 5 seconds, trying to keep the play open, trying to
Exactly.
make
Yeah.
plays happen, trying to give an opportunity for the Gators to score touchdowns. And yet you see the injury happen. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this can either go one or two ways. Either the fan base is going to look at him and say, well, why don't you just play him for 60 minutes instead of making the young man go in and out, right?
hmm
Because his adrenaline is high. He
Yeah.
knows we're talking about him on the daily basis now. There's no
yeah.
question, oh, is my man Ambry Jones going to be the starter the rest of the year? No. You already know the questions that are already happening, and he's already in his mind already noticing, hey, listen, I know who they want, but I'm a team guy. I'm just gonna do myself. Or it's the other way where Emery goes, man, he's hurt. Now I cannot mess up anymore. Now
Yeah.
everything's on my shoulders. I
hmm
cannot have back-to-back consecutive drives of
Exactly.
interceptions
Yeah.
and
hmm
then expect us to even have an opportunity to win. Kelsey, going forward, I understand we play Alabama. It's not going to be easy. Do I
hmm
expect us to win? No, I don't. I do
Me
want
either.
us to at least be competitive. I do want to
hmm
see our defensive front face the Alabama front. I want to see our young secondary. This is, I think, one of the best opportunities for a young secondary. Yes, you might get burned, but how do you respond? If you give up a big play, go back in there and do it again.
hmm
Keep getting those reps. What
Yeah.
do you expect out of this Gator team heading Saturday? Should the mentality be we cannot commit any mistakes to win, or should the mentality be if we make mistakes, let's go ahead and correct them, at least give us a shot and opportunity, knowing that you have Tennessee coming up, the rest of the
hmm
SEC schedule is just opening up already.
I mean, I don't think we'll be mistake free on defense. I mean, I wish. But I mean, definitely we just can't get down if we do give up something big, like, go back and correct it and keep playing, keep our heads up. So I think leaning towards the second option that you said,
Yeah.
because I just don't see us being perfect. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't get blown out. That's my.
Oh,
I hope it's close.
I think that Alex makes a great point. The Alabama defense is the best it gets. I mean,
Yep.
Listen, we saw them play Miami, right? It was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deep at times up front. They got playmakers all over the field. My thing is, though, I do believe you can throw on Alabama's linebackers, which is one thing that I've seen that Dan Mullen has done, especially when he played them last year.
Yeah.
In the
SEC championship.
SEC title game was when you spread them out. But again, you had Kyle Trask, Kadarius Toney, Kyle Pitts, Grimes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have that now. I'm gonna be really intrigued to see how Dan Mullen scripts the first 20 plays of this game. Does he go conservative? Does he say, listen, I got running backs, I can try to beat you guys on the outside, and then start play action a little bit, and then maybe getting AR-15, a couple here, a couple there, opening it up. But I think that this is the game where Emory Jones has to throw the ball away if the play is not there.
Yeah,
You
he
give
can't
up
just throw it into coverage like
you
that.
give up two
Hmm.
interceptions in the first quarter or first half at home with this crowd, with this team. You're giving yourself no shot. I
Yeah.
rather you punt the ball away, right? Instead of you just sitting there and making just dumb mistakes, man. It's
Hmm.
just again, he's 25 plus career starts in his career. And people will say, "Oh no, we're harping on the young man," but the young man should know already. Look
Yeah.
him off. If you got nothing open, the Dolphin fans used to have a simple phrase for a specific quarterback down here, Chad Henne. Used to call him used to call him I forgot what a phrase it was, but he would always throw it to the running back. Always. He was always
Yeah, I
afraid.
remember.
He was always afraid of throwing it down the field.
Hmm.
Just give it to your just throw the ball for 2-3 yards. It,
Hmm.
it it won't hurt you, right? It won't hurt
Yeah.
you. And then when you
Just be
get into
careful.
yeah, and then once you get a drive going and you get in the red zone, I think it has to be Anthony Richardson time.
Yeah.
It has to be. You have to have
Hmm.
a full threat that has shown you he's confident in the pocket, throwing the football, and under pressure. Just he makes everything look so damn easy,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah,
my
and
goal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
his 80-yard rush touchdown. Dan yesterday was saying in his presser that it was actually it wasn't the correct read. I don't know if he was being negative or not, but it's like it ended in an 80-yard rush touchdown, so it didn't end in an interception.
Yeah.
So it's like I just thought that was interesting.
So no, and listen. I want to agree with Alex right here. Run the ball, clock control, keep it simple. But to
Yeah.
me, you have such an explosive offense.
Hmm.
You tell me to run the ball with it, especially at home. I could see that on the road. I can see
Yeah.
that not trying to give that crowd energy, man. But you're at home, first game against an SEC opponent, full crowd. We're doing all these little pregame stuff with two bits and who knows, maybe
Yeah.
Danny
Bradley Beal.
goes up with Steve Spurrier on the sideline. We
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
listen, we know that Urban Meyer is not showing up lately because right now Jacksonville has bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
Or maybe so. Um, Again, Alex, I think that's a recording. Gators have plenty of room to make trick plays, but when do you make those trick plays? You
I
don't
feel like
want
they're going to start. I don't know. I feel like they might start with that.
well,
Maybe if we get the ball first, especially,
yeah,
we can't just be conservative.
maybe we see Anthony Richardson and Emory Jones on the field at the same time.
We could.
Listen, both can run the ball. One
Hmm.
can actually throw off his back foot, and the other one just makes common bad throws as a freshman.
Yeah.
But again, it's to me, I'm just looking for, especially out of this defense, the Todd Grantham whole talk effect.
Hmm.
One thing is playing FAU, one thing is playing USF. What is your game plan against this explosive Alabama offense? And you can say, well, Alabama, I forget who they played last week, but all I
They
have to
played
say,
Mercer. They only
Mercer,
won 48-14.
yeah, but
I mean,
Mercer.
it was still like, I know.
You
I'm
look
just
at the
saying.
game with Miami, right? Where
Hmm.
all the questions were new quarterback, how is he going to perform? Is Nick
Yeah.
Saban going to be able, to basically get this offense going, knowing it has a lot of new pieces? No Devontae Smith, no Mac Jones, no
Hmm.
Waddle, no blah blah blah. They looked like they were already in sync from the get go,
Yeah, they
and
did. Hmm.
that's exactly what I wanted because now that puts pressure on Todd Grantham and this young coaching staff. Because I am going to say young when it comes to the defense, especially in the secondary. Not
Hmm.
to mention all these new coaches coming in that they let go, and then they got other people because they said it was the assistants that were
But then
being.
they kept, yeah. But then they kept Grantham.
Yeah, but they kept Grant. So now, okay, Todd, this is what I really want to see from you on Saturday, my friend. Third and short, third and long, please, and I'm begging you. You are coaching at the University of Florida. You do not need to play zone all the time. Let these boys go out there and play with their athleticism. If Marshall makes another mistake, listen, I I'm fine with a freshman like Marshall going out there and committing PIs because when I look at the replay, the young man is battling with the wide
Hmm.
receivers,
Yeah.
trying to learn trying to feel the game, trying to learn it for the very next play. I don't have an issue
Hmm.
with that. What I will have an issue with is late penalties, pre-snap penalties and not knowing where to
Mhm.
freaking line up. And on Saturday, you cannot know where to line up. You have to know where
Yeah.
to go.
Mhm.
Because Alabama to me is going to show up knowing that this game is prime time, 3:30 CBS. This is one of the best opportunities that they've had. Not to mention that they won the national championship. But I know there's going to be hell of recruits here.
Yep.
And just perform at least, at least in honest put an honest performance for 60 minutes. Don't show up like Miami showed up and thought, listen, we have King, we have an offense, we have speed.
Mhm.
It's going to be fine. You can't take that approach when you play
Yeah.
Alabama. Okay.
And their play calling was very conservative too.
And the play calling was very conservative.
Mhm.
Dan Mullen and his staff have to, the minute they go in on Saturday morning, they got to look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? Now is the time. This is why we went through all these practices and we're finally able to do it. This season, because last season, a lot of the practices before the season began were through, like the whole Zoom thing. But this is a perfect opportunity. This is, you lost to them last year. I'm sure when the schedule came out, a lot of the players circled this on the calendar. Everybody's going to be watching, man.
Yep.
And listen, I'm trying to think of games where Dan Mullen has won that were stapled. Probably you'd say the Auburn game at home.
Mhm. Yeah, that was my first thought.
I mean, not to hate on Florida State, but beating Florida State finally after FSU just literally shellacked you for 6 straight years or however long that was. You beat Miami as well. Yep. You beat this Alabama team at home. It has to be, to me, ranked as the number 1 win overall in Dan Mullen.
For sure. Yeah.
And you just want an opportunity to be in the game. Fourth quarter, be down by possession, maybe even 2. Get off the field on 3rd down. Don't commit stupid penalties on offense. You should not, on offense, be having false starts, illegal substitutions. Those things should not matter, okay? And to the Gator faithful that's going to be there, when the offense is out there, please don't do what I saw a lot of fans do in the NFL, was screaming at the top of their lungs when their offense was on the field. Don't do that.
I don't get that. It makes no sense.
Emory Jones needs it to be quiet, please. Yeah. We don't need him to get, oh my God, like all rattled up with because I'm telling you, the type of environment that's going to happen on Saturday, again, if I want to try to remember the recent one to that, maybe Florida State.
I would say, I wasn't at the Auburn game, but I've seen like a bunch of viral tweets where it was like Auburn was extremely loud.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that would be the most recent, because last year didn't really, not that it didn't count, but we didn't have, a full crowd or anything because of COVID. Yeah. So I would say Auburn.
Right there, again, Todd Grantham, you should not be going to zone. If you go to zone, you need to have at least a spy around that Alabama quarterback, because we saw what he can do when he has extra time to break the pocket, right?
Yeah.
And just trust your scheme. I get it. You have a young secondary. Just let them go out there and play. What's the worst that could possibly happen? I don't want to go down 21-0 at halftime and see that on 3rd and 6, we're 10 yards backed up down the field because you want to play this.
I know, we're always back. I can't be back like that.
I swear to God.
We're not always back, but
Kelsey, I look at our 3rd down defense and I sometimes feel like Al Golden is the coach. Because if you remember him down here with Miami, it'll be 4th and 1. He'd have his cornerbacks 10 yards deep. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what the hell?
I don't.
What the hell?
Actually, a play yesterday, and did you watch the Raiders game?
I did watch the Raiders game.
So that wide open touchdown at the end. Jerry on Twitter, he wrote a tweet, something relating it to Grantham's influence or something like that. It's just a wide open look like that would be like our defense. So hopefully that's
Well, here's the thing. The Ravens have been doing that for years. Like, they trust their blitzing scheme and they trust their athletic players to do plays. It just happened to be that Carr just, he was there for the last second and he knew where his
was. It's just funny.
And guess what? Unlike Emory Jones, Carr is leading his player towards the football.
Yeah, exactly.
AR-15, when he throws with a flick of the wrist, there's precision, there's accuracy, and he's leading Cope for the football.
Yeah.
Like, players don't have to stop and look up, which gives the defensive player an extra second.
Yeah.
And those are things I get it. What's going to happen if we win? I'm pretty sure AR-15 will be, you know, he would have been in some ways heavily involved. But
Definitely, yeah.
now, how is that hamstring? How many plays can he
I
play?
know.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean? He is the future, right?
Yeah.
He is, you know, there's no questions about it. Let's fast forward this season. Anthony Richardson
Mhm.
will be the starting quarterback of this football team. He will be here as well when Florida plays Miami again.
Yeah,
That
for
is
sure.
that is for a
Hey, he's
fact.
a redshirt freshman, so yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is absolutely for a fact. But
Yep.
how do you approach it after Alabama? We shall see. And I think the most important thing is we got to take this game for what it is and be realistic. We want to win, but the chances of that happening are very slim if
Mhm.
you hurt yourself with everything that we just said.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? To me, I'm going to look at it like this. I'm going to look at it as after every single offensive possession, was there improvement or was there something that's going to be worrisome? Because
Mhm.
you're going to have to score points, right? This game being 10-3, 17-14 in the fourth,
Mhm.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
I think eventually both offenses somehow figure it out and open it up. But it's all about which one can be the most consistent. If the Gator
Mhm.
defense up front can stop this Alabama running game, I like her chances because then that helps out the secondary. If we
Yeah.
cannot stop the run, man, I mean, did you see that play action against Miami in
Yeah.
the passing game? And
Yep.
those
That'll
wide
be scary.
receivers, those wide receivers that Alabama keeps getting, I just don't understand. But
Yeah.
all right, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I know I've talked a hell of a lot. I just had a lot
No,
to say
it's fine.
because
No, it's fine.
it's been 3 days, right? So it's just one of those things. Well, can we get to Saturday already? Because I just want to see how do we stack up against, let's be honest, the best team in the country,
Yeah.
right?
We have
And
to have a strong second half too because we tend to level off in the second
oh,
half. So we
absolutely.
can't do that.
And then teams again like Kentucky, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt, you know that they're gonna play their best because they know that
Mhm.
when they face Florida, it's one of their best opportunities to showcase or to
Yeah.
see where their program is at.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, Kentucky's good.
so I'm
Most
gonna go out with
definitely.
this last thing here from Alex. Man, give your players a shot to make a play. Absolutely, man.
Mhm. Yeah.
You can't expect your players to make a play when you're doing zones. When you're
Yeah.
basically telling them, look at a section of the field. If somebody goes to your area, go, no, bro. This is why you go out and you recruit, right?
Mhm.
So we shall see. We will be having a pregame. I want to say maybe at 2 o'clock. I know Kelsey
Okay.
will not be here
Yeah,
because
I will
we
not.
will be at the game.
Yep. I'm very excited for that.
I
Also
wish you
nervous,
nothing but
but
luck.
thank you.
Godspeed.
Yep.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Uh,
I'm already nervous.
if
So.
you see any Alabama fans, just I don't know, say War Eagle. Just walk by them. But yeah, guys. So we will have pregame at 2 o'clock. I'm not sure if Kai will join us because maybe Kai will be drinking heavily if we win, especially. But I know that I will be here. Kelsey, any last words? Anything you want to see on Saturday? Any final thoughts for Coach Dan Mullen?
um, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I just
Okay.
hope it's close. I hope it's a good game. I just really hope it's not a blowout. So considering I'll be there, especially. So,
Coach,
yeah.
if AR-15 is doing great, please start them. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week and go Gators, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Go Gators.
Go Gators.